Hi, I'm Dave Henning, executive coach with the John Maxwell team, and my guest today is Jan McDonald, and she is the executive director and CEO of Life Options. Did I get that right? And, okay, great. And also, she is a fellow John Maxwell team member and trained and doing great things in her area. So Jan, let's talk about what you do and why you do it. So why did you get involved in leadership coaching and training?
Well, I got involved in leadership coaching and training because of the impact that leadership development was having on Life Options, which is a nonprofit pregnancy medical center. We actually have them. And when I first got this position as CEO, I had no idea what I was doing, none. So, but I knew if I was going to lead an organization, it was very small at the time, I was going to need to learn leadership skills, leadership skills. I just figured, so I started reading a lot of books on leadership skills. And I never really realized the importance of it and the impact it was having until 1 year, maybe 2013, we were launching our mobile unit. And launching a mobile unit is an entirely different thing than launching just a regular brick and mortar. And so I was pulling my hair out. I was having staff issues. So instead of going home and reading and learning more like I normally did, I went home and played solitaire on my phone and watched the news all night long. And I quit like 25 times that month. I told my board, oh my gosh, God isn't hearing or answering our prayers. This is horrible. And then our funding tanked. And we never have a problem with funding, ever. We do not do summer slump. So for me, when things get really painful, and most of the time they have to get really painful before I do anything about them, I went to my library and thought, I got to read something. I've got to do something that's going to change what's going on. I didn't know what to do. So I grabbed a book in my library, probably because it was red, and I like red. And it was John Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Yes. Yeah.
And there I was in the first chapter on the law of the lid. And if the leader stops growing, the organization stops growing. That's the whole premise of the law of the lid. So I took that book to bed, finished it that weekend, and started implementing some of the concepts. Now, granted, it wasn't automatic, it wasn't instant, but I saw results immediately. And I realized then that since I had stopped growing, it was my impact on the organization. That's why the funding tanked. That's why I was having staff issues. That's why all of it. So I thought, man, if leadership can have that kind of impact on our little organization, think of the impact that it can have on other organizations as well. So I thought I was just going to go get trained. And that's why I decided to do what I've done.
So you made a commitment to invest in yourself. My understanding is that the John Maxwell team is the largest leadership coaching organization in the world. I think up to something like 184 countries now or something like that. So we're everywhere.
Yeah.
But having said that, so you got certified. You attended the international event in Orlando and
yes,
picked up your training. And so, what have been the benefits to you personally then?
Oh my goodness, personally? Well, personally, it has changed a lot of my relationships. It's made my relationships better. Number one. Number two, at Life Options, it's pretty much given me my life back. And how it's given me my life back is as I started investing in the team of people that I lead, they started growing, changing, taking on more responsibility, becoming leaders in their own right. And so that pretty much freed me up to do the job that I have, which is more vision casting, more the fun development person. And so it's made my life a whole lot easier.
Sure. And so then you expanded from there, if I understand, where you've been speaking at local events, you've been connecting with other businesses where this practical leadership information could really make an impact on other people's businesses. So tell us about how that is going and how that has really made a difference in your community.
What's been really fun is I have trained pregnancy centers around the nation, and it's made an impact in their centers as well, where I can think of one right now in Oregon that has totally changed the trajectory of their organization. It's increased their funding. It's increased a lot of their influence, and that's automatically what happens is when you grow and your organization grows, your influence grows, so you begin to attract more influential people into your organization, and therefore more financial partners that have more influence as well. In businesses around here in the Valley, it has helped them increase the loyal staff, not only the loyalty of their staff, but again, just like what it did here at Life Options, it has increased the responsibility of the staff that they're willing to take on.
Okay, so having said that, as you know, and you can tell when you walk into a business if they're customer service oriented.
Oh, yeah.
If their employees are making eye contact, they're making you feel welcome. And so it sounds to me like, correct me if I'm wrong, that you can visually see the difference in what it has meant to your employees and co-workers. Describe that a little bit more, if you would.
So, I'll just tell you a little story. We have a character-based relationship education that we teach in the schools. And so one of the things that we ask the students, I just love this, we ask them, okay, so what characteristics would you like to see in your long-term relationships? I mean, think about long-term, when you get married down the road a piece, or when you have a long, steady boyfriend, what kind of characteristics would you like to see in them? And they always say, well, we want them to be respectful, and we want them to not cheat on us, of course, so we want them to be faithful, we want them to be hardworking. Of course, there's always a guy in there that wants a good cook. There's always a girl in there that wants a six-pack, on her boyfriend, those kind of,
Sure.
but they want them to be caring and compassionate, everything that you would want to have. And so one time I was teaching this to a 7th grade class, and I said, so where do you find a person like that? How do you find a person with those characteristics? And they said, Match.com. Oh, that wasn't the answer I was looking for, but so I had to kind of turn around and laugh a little bit, and I came back and I said, great answer, but not the answer I'm looking for. So you become like that person with those characteristics, and then you will attract people with those characteristics. And John, in his book, has the law of magnetism, and he says you don't get who you are. You don't attract who you want. There you go. But you attract who you are.
Right.
So when you start developing the skills that you want in your life as a leader, you start to attract and pull those people towards your organization. So what has happened with us, and you can see this too, what has happened with us is we have attracted more of a different kind of people to work with us, more different financial partners. You can see it work in other organizations. So I will ask an organization, so what are the characteristics that you want to attract for the people that are going to work with you, for your employees? And so they'll list out these characteristics that they want for their employees. And I always ask them, so do you have those characteristics?
Oh, ouch.
Because if you don't have those characteristics, you are not going to attract those characteristics.
Right, exactly.
And that's the law of magnetism. So when you start attracting these people to your business, when you start to invest in you and your staff, and you start developing these skills, you start attracting that kind of people to your business. And yes, you can definitely see that. Did that answer your question?
Oh, absolutely. As you know, John Maxwell always says, "Hi, I'm John. I'm your friend," and his definition of leadership is influence.
Yes.
And people who don't think they're leaders, we're all influencing somebody in the way we act, the way we talk, the way we respect or disrespect people.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And so it sounds like you are making an impact nationwide with a variety of pregnancy centers, as well as local businesses. And what else is going on?
What else is going on? Coaching.
Yes, let's talk about coaching. What is your definition of coaching? You know, we've been through this before where some people think of a sports coach or a counselor or a mentor,
Right.
and all these other things, which is not really the pure and true definition of coaching. Is that right?
Yeah, in my thought process, counseling is kind of like a counselor brings up the past wounds to help heal the past wounds. And coaching is a process where we look from now forward. I mean, the past wounds might come up, but coaching is for people who desire improvement and beneficial changes in their lives. So what coaching has done for me, because I have a coach, definitely, it helps me become aware of what's going on inside me and what's holding me back. Now, I don't know about you, but I can always BS myself, belief system myself, will make this a PG rated podcast. And I can always rationalize my way of thinking or my way of doing something. I have no clue I'm doing that. And so what a coach does is a coach helps me bring out some of those things and helps me formulate a plan to crush those belief systems that might be holding back.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so let's talk for a minute about who are the people that you would like to influence, connect with. How can we help you expand and grow your business?
Oh, boy. I think expanding and growing my business, I think that's all about exposure. I think it's definitely just getting the word out there that what I do as a coach and as a leadership trainer is going to have a positive impact on their lives and on their businesses.
So just to clarify, what I hear you saying is that you're doing some coaching, one-on-one coaching, some speaking, some leadership training.
Yes.
You're also capable of putting together groups of people and work with groups. Tell me about that.
Those group coaching can take place in a mastermind setting. So you can get a book and work through a book with a group of people. I love to do that. Again, that creates awareness in other people. So we're not just reading the book and then we're just going to put it on the shelf and forget about it like a lot of people do.
Right.
We're going to go through books. They could be John Maxwell books. They could be other kind of books. And depending on the need of the organization, and we study them together and work out a plan to implement what we're learning. And what I have found with masterminds is that it creates also an accountability that I think that there's a lack of within organizations. So, what we used to do at Life Options is, we create all these great goals in January. And then in May, I'd be looking at my goals thinking, oh my gosh, I said I was going to do that. I said I was going to do that by March, So what a mastermind does in a 4 to 6 to 7 week session, whatever you decide upon, it creates an accountability for change, to implement change, to formulate a plan to create that change in the organization that you want through reading a book.
Sure. So I'm going to write that down. accountability for change. Is that how you said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have a particular favorite book that you like to work through with people? And I think you probably have some workbooks that go along with that. You have a favorite?
Oh my gosh, particular books. Let's see. My favorite mastermind that I've ever done that I really, really loved. Oh my gosh, do I have to come up with just one? Okay.
Oh no, of course not. Well, I'll tell you one of mine is the 15 laws of
Invaluable laws of growth. Yes.
Invaluable laws of growth. 15 of them, if not more.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites as well. Last January I worked through a book, Put Your Dream to the Test, with maybe 7 or 8 different people from all over the place. And that promoted some great aha moments within every person that was part of that mastermind. That was really a good one. One of my favorite things that I really love to do is strategically plan. Take an organization through a strategic planning day or day and a half. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Wow.
Help them brainstorm, help bigger than they've ever dreamed before. I love to do that as well. Yeah. But another favorite book. I'm starting a mastermind at the very beginning of February on No Limits, on John's new book, the No Limits book. Yeah. Blowing the lid off your capacity.
Wow.
And I'm really excited about that one as well.
That's a good topic, considering we're coming into February and the Olympics are coming. The Winter Olympics are coming up, and that's kind of the mentality that Olympic athletes have to achieve their goals. And so maybe you could give out gold medals at the end of your class when you finish going through the course.
Oh, that's a fabulous idea. I never would have thought of that. Yes, that's a great idea.
It just popped into my head.
Gold medals that have chocolate in them.
Oh,
you know how you
now we're talking. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, great. So you have your own coach or multiple coaches that you use and know and connect with that have helped you.
Yes.
So, and that's a continuing process, is it?
It is a continuing process. Yeah. I did hire Paul Martinelli as well.
Right.
For a coaching session, and whoa, that was really amazing. I have a coach because, I have inherent belief systems. I just want to become the best version of myself that I can possibly become. And just when I think I've arrived, I become aware. I become aware of, maybe a flaw that I didn't know I had, or a dream that I didn't know I had, or maybe even a strength that I didn't really realize I had in the process of coaching, or I have been able to come up with a plan that has really helped in communication with other people as well. So, as a driven personality, I can leave people by the wayside. I can be very task oriented and leave people by the wayside. I'm learning now how to be driven, but also become more relationship oriented as well. And that's been through the coaching process too.
Excellent. So having said that, speak to the point about how important is it for individuals, business owners, even managers, even employees to invest in themselves?
Oh, I think it's really important. It's important because, John Maxwell says, if you're not growing, you're not happy. And I think that growth equals happiness for me.
Yeah.
And if you want to be valued more by your boss, by your business, by the people that you hang out with, then you need to make yourself more valuable. And I think the only way that you can make yourself more valuable is by growing and changing and becoming responsible for that growth in yourself.
I think one of the memorable things in my life years ago when I was attending a seminary back in Kansas City, and I applied for a job at a local radio station because I'd always had a dream of being a disc jockey. So I ended up doing that, and then I went on to the sales department side of writing and selling radio commercials. And my general manager invested in the entire sales team by taking us to a live event. At that time, it was Zig Ziglar. And we're talking way back. And so over the past 3 or 4 decades, I've probably seen Zig Ziglar and some very famous people in some of these mega seminars and arenas. Probably seen them about 6 or 7 times. But talk to the idea of the importance of even live events, maybe that you've done or that some of your people have gone to. I got to see Les Brown last year down in San Jose, which was one of the dreams of mine because I have his books, and I've even flew out to Denver on the spur of the moment to spend a few hours with Tony Robbins. So,
wow.
What is your take on the importance of live events, and including the John Maxwell events?
Oh my goodness, the John Maxwell events are done so well. They're always mind expanding. Totally. I mean, they take off the back of your head and just give you just give you so much information. I love events, and I love being around the people, because you can meet people who are where you want to be, and you can learn so much from them. I love the live events for that, and they kind of catapult you into another level as well. But I think to stay at that level, growth has to be intentional, and it has to be continuous.
Yes, yeah, and you made a very valid point about it's way more than even the outstanding speakers that you'll hear. It's the relationships you build with literally people from all over the world that you're sitting with or have lunch with. It's an amazing process that I hope that people will consider that level of investment in themselves, because doesn't John have the law of the rubber band? Once you've been stretched, you can't go back.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. What I love best, I think, about the live event is the 5-minute stories that everybody tells.
Yes.
I mean, there are some absolutely amazing people sitting at those tables with us that have come through and overcome some very, some of them are heart-wrenching, and then some of them are just, the people have just grown so much through maybe addictions, or grown through definite tough spots in their life. I love to hear those stories. Yeah, and there they are at the John Maxwell International Certification, wanting more for their lives and for the lives of others.
So Jan, tell me about some of the outcomes of some of the people that you have coached.
Some of the outcomes, let's see, there have people who have had limiting beliefs identified, and that were holding them back from becoming the person they wanted to be. And so we identified those limiting beliefs, and then the person I coached came up with their own plan to take care of that limiting belief and move forward from that. I worked with one person that had a substance addiction, and that's my background, so I'm the master of that. But and so that client has overcome the addiction by changing the beliefs that fueled it.
Wow! Yeah,
yes,
great.
Yes, and then there have been people who have been relationally challenged, the communication in the relationship. So that's just a few.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. So as this new podcast goes out, tell us how people can connect with you who might want to find out more about you, your services, your speaking, your coaching, how would you like them to connect with you? By a website?
They can contact me by the website. One of my websites is johncmaxwellgroup.com/Jan McDonald. And that has all of my leadership coaching and speaking and training on that. You can just contact me by that. Or you can actually contact me at Jan McDonald at johnmaxwellgroup.com. That's my email. And then I also have another website which hosts my blog and my empowerment mentoring classes. And that is Empowerment Mentor. Oh man, can I remember that? Empowerment Mentor /Jan McDonald.
Excellent. And so as we kind of wrap things up today, Jan, what would you like to see happen in 2018 for you, for the people that you are influencing, and how can we help you grow your business right there where you are?
Oh boy, what would I like to see happen in 2000? I have like a list of things.
Oops. Now I have to warn you that I don't actually believe in New Year's resolutions.
No, I don't have New Year's resolutions, but I'm a firm believer in writing your vision and then living as if that vision has already happened.
Yeah.
And so I've written that. So my goal for this year and what I would like to see, I would love to see people become part of empowerment mentoring, part of that program, that 6-month program that helps them grow and change and identify some limiting beliefs that they might have and become the best version of themselves.
Excellent.
That I would love to. I enjoy coaching people. I enjoy helping them transform themselves into more of who they would like to become. Mm-hmm. And I love working with organizations as well who want to experience explosive growth like we have here at Life Options.
Yeah. And so just to clarify, are you offering some of these things either online or by phone?
Yes. Yeah. Some are virtual because when you work with people all over the country, you always fly day by day to go see them. So I'm happy to do it virtually. And, that's another thing too, is you can attend from anywhere. Some of my masterminds are like that. You can attend from your couch, from the beach, in your jammies. You don't have to be, nobody can see you. So yeah. So it can be virtual. It can be in person. I want to meet the needs of the people that I serve. So I find out what they want and then definitely meet their needs.
So we will have your websites posted right down here underneath our faces. I have a little offer today for people that are watching this podcast all the way to the end. I have my free leadership book, if I can get it on the screen here, How to Become a Barnabas Leader. It's actually radio interviews I did with people whose lives were impacted by the power of encouragement. You can get that book for free by going to barnabasleaderbook.com. Just pay shipping. I'll send that book right out to you for free. Jan, thank you so much. I wanted to give kind of an incentive for people to watch all the way through, and they can get my book, and we'll definitely be promoting your websites as well. And we greatly appreciate seeing you again, and it's great talking with you, and I hope you have a wonderful 2018, and we will just have to take time to do this again. And
Thanks, Dave. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.